Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Audrey. It's mid-month and I'm still working on my January kit from Clique Kits, and this kit this month is called Hey Sugar. And a lot of the design team this month have done kind of a best of 2016 page, so this is my take on that challenge. So I found a font that I liked and I cut out the numbers 2016 from one of the black pieces of paper, pattern paper in the kit, and I made it kind of big because my intention is to kind of use it as a banner on my page. And I have gone through and picked out a whole bunch of photos from the year and kind of picked, I didn't necessarily pick 10 photos, but I think I do have 10 events. And I think I have a couple photos for, like 2 or 3 photos for certain events. And I'm going to kind of cluster my photos on the right side of my page. And these photos are about 1.5 inches tall, well, the portrait or oriented ones, and about 1 inch wide. And I print all my photos in Photoshop, by the way. I create documents with shapes of specific sizes, for example, like 1.5 by 1, and then I drag my photos into those shapes and group them together so that my photos are that exact size. I will have to do a tutorial on that at some point, I think, of how I do that in Photoshop. Anyway, I printed those out, and for the other side of my layout, I am going to use this piece of striped paper. And what I decided to do is I wanted to make the stripes kind of stand out a little bit more. So I am kind of cutting them at different lengths to make them look like the bars are different lengths. So I'm just cutting down between 2 colors, and then I'll go a certain distance and then kind of cut off the end of that strip. So it just looks like a whole bunch of randomly spaced strips. And I really love how that looks. And I think it makes that striped paper look so different, like it's a whole bunch of different pattern papers that I've lined up in strips, when in actuality it's just the one piece of paper that I've cut the strips at different lengths. So I trimmed off a little bit to make it a little bit closer to the left edge, and my intention is to leave it like that and then go back and kind of add some journaling for my different events in some of the white spaces, the white lines of that pattern paper. So I'm going to glue this strip down on the right, and I'm going to go ahead and start gluing the photos down too, because I'm pretty happy with the way that they are laid out. They kind of go in chronological order. It was hard to do that because, you know, some of them are side by side, so it's not exactly chronological, you know, from like the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And I'm going to go through really quickly. We had a trip to Florida. We got chickens this year, so I have 2 pictures of the kids holding chickens. My daughter turned 7. I turned 40. My son turned 5, so we had birthdays. My daughter Charlotte learned to ride her bike without her training wheels. Kyler learned to swim without his life jacket. I started back to work this year after 7 years. We did a trip in the fall to the Adirondacks. Kyler started kindergarten, and I know this is kind of sad, but it was an important event in our life. Our cat died in December, right at the end, right after Christmas, and he's 17, and I miss him terribly. But you know, it's a sad thing that happened. I know sometimes we don't want to think of the best of, but you know, having him around for as long as he stayed, we didn't think he was going to make it as long as he did. So you know, I still wanted to document that moment, even though it was sad. So those were my top things of the year. So I went through the phrase stickers there, kind of the epoxy phrase stickers, and I was trying to find some that I thought would fit, and I chose the word great, and I end up picking out the word together too. The great is actually the same color as that yellow bar at the top in the pattern paper, but it doesn't look like it on this page. I think it's because it has like a kind of a blue line around the edge, so it almost looks a little bit green, but you can definitely see the color more when it's close up and probably not on video. So I'm just going through some of the other bits in the kit. And these are some of the sticky brads, and I'm just scattering them on the paper, or on my photos rather. And I've taken some of the enamel dots and put them around my photos, a couple hearts, and then this little XOXO sticker. or tag rather, I thought I wanted to add in somewhere, so I'm going to kind of squeeze that in my photos in between over there. I just wanted to add a few things over there. I didn't want to take away from the photos too much. And then I decided to move up the title a little bit more. And I'm going to kind of string this, the numbers 2016 across the page, kind of like a banner. And so I thought it would be perfect if I tied them onto that tag and strung them from that across the page. And then on the left-hand side, I'm going to add that little kind of accordion, what do you call it, ribbon thing there with a heart on it. Okay, so I've added some splatters, some black splatters, and I wanted to pick up a little bit on the black paper on the left, or I'm sorry, on the right hand side. So the black splatters it is, and then some red, or some black and white twine as well to kind of go along with the, bring a little bit more black in. So I liked the numbers, and I liked them cut out of the black pattern paper, but I thought to make them stand off a little bit more from the background that I would outline them. So I just take a marker here and outline the numbers with black just to make them pop a little bit more. And that's how they're going to go on the banner. This is a really super quick page for me because when you have so many photos, you don't really want to spend, you know, a lot on the design. I don't think you want to keep the design kind of simple so that, you know, your focus can be on your photos more. So for this little piece of twine with the banner, I kind of secure it down there on the left-hand side, and it doesn't fall really nicely. It kind of like has kind of some kinks in it where it has been wrapped around the card I have it on, so I kind of want it to look more natural. So I'm trying to stretch it a little bit, and I'm trying to glue it down, stick it down with glue dots, and it's not working very well. So I reach into my stash and find this glue I have. It's called Fabric Fuse, and it's from ThermoWeb, and it works great for like ribbon or any type of fabric. I've actually used it for making quilts before when I've had to like applique something on. I'll glue it down with this Fabric Fuse. I've actually, if you're a quilter, you know what I'm talking about. But I have actually used the Fabric Fuse to glue down my binding as well before I stitch it, and it stays in place very well. So anyway, I use that to glue down my twine there, and it sticks really good. So for my numbers, I also go ahead and just use the glue and glue them right to the twine. And then on the bottom of the numbers, I wanted them to stick off the page a little bit. So I actually add a little square of foam adhesive to the bottom of each number and pop that off just to raise it up and give it a little bit more dimension. So I don't really do too much else. I do add a few more enamel dots just to kind of balance them out around the page. And not on camera, I go through and add my journaling on each of the kind of blank spaces, the white spaces on that pattern paper. And that's about it. I considered adding some numbers over on the photos to correspond to the journaling that I add, but I didn't end up doing that. I just kind of wrote down the list of things and put their date, and that's about it. This little touch right here, I'm adding some of the triangle stickers from that epoxy sticker sheet to my twine to kind of make it look a little bit more like banners. And that wraps it up. A super fast and quick page, but I love how it came out with the big title 2016 and those phrase stickers, and then you can see there I added in my journaling. So thanks so much for stopping by today. I'll have another page up this week with the Clique Kits kit as well, so stay tuned. See you soon. Bye-bye.